Yeah, so we briefly discussed, because I did go to therapy and counseling for stigmas, judgments, things people say about other people that are sort of unfair, one-sided viewpoints. So anyway, judgmental or biased people, or sometimes just rude people. So it could be anything. It could be like you might look at me, a disabled person, and be like, drug user. And then it brings a slew of and an onslaught of other unfortunate events that might not happen if people don't say rude things about people. It could be something else, like always has bad hair. Although that doesn't seem important, if people are going out of their way to be rude and make that real because someone said it, then it's bad. So that's what a stigma is. And what else? What I was also thinking about related to stigmas or judgments, unfair judgments, didn't really seem like an important deal. This is like 18 to 20 plus years ago. So everybody who's ever used drugs or partied um, knows what I mean. I think when it's like an acquaintance person, a party friend, although you may not be in counseling or you may be tired of hearing it, that's what it is. You knew them during a certain period of time and you move on. You don't actually expect to see them ever again. You don't want to be forced to think about them for the rest of your life when you met them for 1 month 20 years ago when you got high or drunk once. That's not realistic. I mean, even people don't even remember names of people they went to high school with in their 40s or beyond. You just don't. They might look different. You don't talk to them. You had your own life experiences. You moved on. But when people don't suffer the same consequences to their actions that other people do that might have been arrested or counseled, I guess, privately by their own people, you could say, removed from that scenario or situation somehow, one way or another. When they don't suffer that, and them and their kids generationally get away with, sometimes it's a crime and sometimes it's not. The laws have changed, and it depends on where you're from. Then they live and thrive on these rumors and rumors and rumors. And the more they live them out, the less accurate they become. And anyway, so let's say I met someone for 3 months or 6 months 20 years ago, and I moved on. I said this. I did a little bit of jail time. I did like counseling, like a step program in a minimum security facility. I did. So I'm not ashamed to say that. I can say without feeling guilty or thinking I'm going to jail that I did that because I did my time. I've moved on. But I don't want to think about them, and it's not an invitation to come back into my life. So anyway, I met them, and during this whole time period, they're thinking that I don't have thoughts, I can't get along, I just don't get it. So let's touch back on the idea of what I said before. There are different types of drug users that have different reasons. So while one group, them, might have wanted to like rape, kill, steal, orgy, and that's their stuff, I wanted to exercise. I actually just wanted fitness and to exercise and to see if there's anybody out there. I hadn't seen anybody I'd known in more than 2 years. It's like this internal meter of what's going on out there and who is here still. I understand as an adult and even an adult in my 20s that people move away. They don't just decide to stay forever. They don't always come back. Sometimes they never call again. And that's like an escape from this city. So I'm sitting here with these people I barely know, and I don't know if I want to be friends with. I don't know. I wanted to do art. I wanted to sing. I thought about practicing rapping. I'm not even that good. I wanted to see if other people knew they could party without thinking they owe sexual favors or relationships or anything. And they didn't. I did not meet any one person 18 or 20 years ago in this city that thought that was a real thing. Let's exercise and maybe do some art. They're like, we could do art though. But no, they thought you must have those other things that I don't want, you know? And so life experience and the people and the generation you're from, I guess, and your friends ring does make a huge, gigantic difference. But they're thinking this whole time, I have no thoughts. I must have borrowed this stuff or needed help during this time. And I don't know them, and I don't want to know their kids, and I don't want their kids to generationally surround me because their parents' thoughts they had who are still on drugs or never got caught. So that's taking a stigma to a next level. uh, anyway, so that's a good example, and that's what I wanted to say because it was on my mind. You can't tell, oh yes, what a generation is. So I'm a generation. If I had kids, or my sisters do, that's the next generation, and if they do, that's another generation. So that would be three generations. Um, Anyway, so yeah, you can't just say that because someone I met 1 month, 20 years ago knows all these things about me. Because on the other end, and this is why, I don't know you. I don't know if we have anything in common. We've experienced a few high days together 20 years ago, but it doesn't mean that we're going to be life mates. We're not going on a life quest. I have no reason to trust you. I'm not going to tell you where I live. I said that. I'm not going to tell you or show you things that I know or where I go because you could be anybody. You're on the other end of the spectrum, like you pointed out to me, that you have different things in mind for your fun times than I do. That doesn't make me thoughtless. That makes me cautious. So our vocabulary here, and our understanding of that is different. And stigmas, anyway, are very, very damaging. It's another thing that, with word of mouth, can spread and create so much more negativity than there was in the first place. It could be like one bad day and verbal conversation in an adult or even just barely older than teen world, and it's over. We said one thing to each other. That's it. It could be as easy as I don't really want to talk about it. But it doesn't mean that I'm thoughtless for 30 years and need to be subdued by tweakers.